A reflection for Christmas. The good news of Jesus' birth is good news that is not once upon a time, but in a specific time and place. God's Son is born. And we hear in Luke's Gospel, it's in Judea. It's in the time of the Roman Emperor Augustus, and it is in the town of Bethlehem. And it's with people who make room in their lives. There is Mary who says yes, and she will bear the child. There is Joseph who says yes and does not reject her or put her away. And there is still no room when they get to Bethlehem. But the good news is that Mary and Joseph make that room in their lives, and there is room in the stable. God comes to us, and he comes as a child, as a tiny, vulnerable baby, born as one of us. The good news comes and it is announced to those who are outside the religious circles. God's news is for everybody. So the angels announce the good news to the shepherds who are unable to meet all the religious requirements of worship. And they come and see the child and they worship. God's good news is for all. God's good news is for those who make space. God's good news is regardless of our poverty. God's good news is specific, and God's good news is that his Son, Jesus, is born and grows to manhood and lives and dies to save us, to reconcile us to God, to show God's love in the world for us. And this good news is for us now, in our messy lives, in our disappointments this Christmas, in this very difficult time when many people are isolated, when many, many people are sick. The good news of God's love, of his Son who is born as one of us and who comes with the good news of God's love for us, is for now and is for our future. And we, as much as the shepherds, are offered this good news. We are invited to make room in our lives, as Mary and Joseph made room. And if we think of the kings, we are invited to worship and to bring our gifts. The good news is that Christ was born and comes with God's love and comes as a tiny, tiny, vulnerable baby. We remember this Christmas that he came and that we might live. Amen.